Hello everyone, this is again your Mom Herms for another tutorial video, and for this topic we're going to study the inverse of one-to-one function. A function has an inverse if and only if it is a one-to-one function. So if the function is not a one-to-one function, therefore it has no inverse. But how do we determine the inverse of a function? To determine the inverse of a function, from its equation, there are rules to be followed. The first rule is to write the function in the form y is equal to f of x. And to emphasize this further, we're going to make use of an example. F of x is equal to 3x plus 1. We are going to change f of x to y. Therefore, y is equal to 3x plus 1. The next rule, interchange the x and y variables, meaning x here will be replaced by y and the y here will be replaced by x. Therefore, x is equal to 3y plus 1. The third rule, solve for y in terms of x, meaning we are going to solve for y making use of the terms of x. How are we going to do that? We have to transpose 1 to x, thus making it negative. X minus 1 is equal to what remains on the right side is 3y. So in order to solve for y, we have to eliminate its coefficient. So we have to divide this by 3, and what we have done to the right must also be done to the other side. So we have also to divide this by 3. So 3y over 3, ka-cancel natin yung 3. What remains is y is equal to x minus 1 all over 3. Therefore, the inverse of the function 3x plus 1 is x minus 1 over 3. Okay, let's check if this is really true. Our function is 3x plus 1. Let's try to substitute values for our x, unique values. X is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let's solve for y. What is y when x is 1? It is 4. When x is 2, y is 7. When x is 3, y is 10. And when x is 4, y is 13. Okay, let's try to solve now for our inverse function. The inverse function, we are going to interchange the x and y. The y here, the y values here will become the x values in our inverse function. And what are those values? Y values here will become the x values in our inverse function, which are 4, 7, 10, 13. What are the values of y? The y values here must be the x values in our function. Okay, let's check if it is really true. If x is 4, substituting that into our inverse function, 4 minus 1 all over 3 is 1. 7 minus 1 is equal to 6 divided by 3 is equal to 2. 10 minus 1 is 9 divided by 3 is 3. And 13 minus 1 is 12 divided by 3 is equal to 4. As you can see, the x values here are the y values in our inverse function. And the y values in our function is the x values in our inverse functions. Therefore, in conclusion, the domain of f of x is the range of our inverse function, and the range of f of x is the domain of the inverse function. Okay, here are some examples in finding the inverse function. Number 1, f of x is equal to 5x. How are we going to find its inverse? Let's change f of x to y. Therefore, y is equal to 5x. Then interchange the positions of the variables. Y will become x and x will become y. Therefore, x is equal to 5y. Then solve for y in terms of x. Therefore, we have to eliminate the coefficient of 5y. So we have to divide this by 5, and also we have to divide this 5 by 5. So 5y over 5, pi will be cancelled. Therefore, y is equal to x over 5. Therefore, the inverse function of x is equal to x over 5. Next example, f of x is equal to 10 minus x. Let's change f of x to y. Therefore, y is equal to 10 minus 2x. Then change the position. X is now 10 minus 2y. As you can see, we have changed the value of y to become x and x to become y. Then solve for y in terms of x. How are we going to do that? 10 must be transposed to the left, then it becomes negative. What remains here is negative 2y. So we have to eliminate negative 2 here so as y will be singled out. Therefore, this is negative 2 and also the whole thing here must be divided by negative 2 also. So that negative 2 over negative 2 will be cancelled. Therefore, y is equal to x minus 10 all over negative 2. Therefore, the inverse function is now x minus 10 all over negative 2. Example number 3. F of x is equal to negative 2 all over x minus 5. Change f of x to y. Y is equal to negative 2 over x minus 5. Then interchange the x and y. Therefore, x is equal to negative 2 all over y minus 5. Then solve for y in terms of x. We are just going to cross multiply. So x times the quantity y minus 5 is equal to negative 2 times 1 because this is over 1. But we are no longer writing the 1 here. Next, what are we going to do to solve for y? So we are going to multiply x to y, also x to negative 5. Therefore, xy minus 5x is equal to negative 2. Okay, we are just looking for the value of y here. So it has to be singled out. How are we going to do that? Xy is equal to 5x here. Negative 5x must be transposed to the right. Then it becomes 5x minus 2. And since we could eliminate x here so that y will be alone now. Therefore, we have to divide this by x. And also, the whole thing here will be also divided by x. Y over x will be cancelled. Therefore, y is equal to 5x minus 2 all over x. Therefore, the inverse function is now 5x minus 2 all over x. And the last example, f of x is equal to 2x plus 1 all over 3x minus 4. Change f of x to y. Y is equal to 2x plus 1 over 3x minus 4. Then interchange x and y. Therefore, x is equal to 2y plus 1 all over 3y minus 4. Next, we have to solve for y in terms of x. So we're going to cross multiply x times 3y minus 4 is equal to 2y plus 1. Then we are going to distribute x here and also x to negative 4. Therefore, 3xy minus 4x is equal to 2y plus 1. Then, we are going to combine 2y here to another 3xy here. So, we are going to transpose those values. 3xy minus 2y, then negative 4x here to be transposed to the right, then it becomes positive. That's why we have arrived to 3xy minus 2y is equal to 4x plus 1. Then, let's try to factor this. So, y is equal to 3x minus 2 is equal to 4x plus 1. 3xy and negative 2y. So we have remove y as their common factor. In order to eliminate the coefficient of our y here, or the terms that will make y stand alone, so we have to divide this by 3x minus 2 and also divide this by 3x minus 2 so that 3x minus 2 will be cancelled. Therefore, y is equal to 4x plus 1 all over 3x minus 2. And therefore, the inverse function is now 4x plus 1 all over 3x minus 2.